So I forgot to order those things.
Well, you said later today.
No, I didn't. I said we'll get back.
Oh. Well, priorities.
I know that's right.
Black man and cereal.
No, black man and cereal.
Am I good? Let me turn my voiceover on.
Sit down so I can look at this piano. Be right behind you. I'm right behind you.
This stuff. They've moved these trash cans.
Did they?
Yeah, I used to have to squeeze it between them. Now I'm just like,
Yeah, but it's getting tight.
right at your mom's elbow.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are here live, Main Street, USA, on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon. This is we're sticking our claim as usual for the 3 o'clock parade. As I said, it is going on at probably about 1 o'clock or so. This is where we will be for the next 2.5 hours as we wait for the 3 o'clock Main Street parade, and of course all the activities that happen 1 hour prior to. As you can tell, off in the distance, the stage show is happening as we speak. It is a glorious 84 degrees today here in sunny Florida day. Partly clouded skies, very slim chance of any precipitation, but we don't speak about that because if you speak it, it will come. And as everyone does come in, whether you like it or not, whether you stay or not, just go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit that bell notification. It helps us out tremendously. It helps us get out to all the other people that are watching, everybody else that's live streaming inside the Magic Kingdom. However, we're bringing you the live cam, the trash cam view of Main Street USA in all its glory. Main Street USA all the way down to Cinderella Castle, where we're going to see some of the other entertainment options that do happen. And you'll be able to hear some of the ambiance and some of the chitter chatter as people are enjoying their day here. Once again, this will be primarily where we'll be for the next 2.5 hours or so as we wait for the 3 o'clock parade. And of course, that parade, even though it kicks off at 3 o'clock, will not get to this area till just about 3:15 or so Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here just for that, and then of course a little bit afterwards, before we actually do have to leave for the day. Quick little live stream. We would have been streaming earlier, but like I said, just getting used to some of this equipment. We did have some issues with our equipment just the last couple of days. Whether it was the gimbal that just couldn't stand, or I should say, the phone drained the gimbal better. Do you need this code that came into my phone? You do? Hold on.
Hold on. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. 3-1.
Oh, is it still up there?
I think it. I think everybody gets here and goes. Here. And okay. Yeah, that was good. I got it.
Okay.
It's still up there. I don't know if that.
No, it'll eventually go away. All right, like I said, I'd like to thank everybody that just tunes in. If you're ninja watching, that is good. That is okay to do as well. I noticed that a lot of our people are ninja watching from their offices or from their workplace. Shame on you. I don't blame you though, because low key, I did the same thing. Even though I worked for the Walt Disney World Company, I would low key watch other YouTubers doing their thing, and that was before live streaming was even a thing. If you think back about 10, 15 years ago, there was no. I don't think live streaming was as big as it is now. Definitely a growing trend. Easy way to get into the social media game though. Requires no effort, even though we put as much effort as we can. Like I said, I try to engage with as much chitter chatter and conversation as I can so that we're not just aimlessly pointing at things for no apparent reason. And of course, this being Tuesday, I will actually like to call this Timestamp Tuesday, where we kind of reflect on some of our favorite things that we used to do here at Walt Disney World, namely the Magic Kingdom. We go through this every single time we do a live stream because this is this time, and I like to kick back and relax on some of the nostalgia that we have for the theme parks, and even some of the things that we look forward to in the future. As everyone's probably keeping a close eye out on the construction going on with the updated Frontierland. They apparently are starting to pour in concrete for various foundations for the upcoming Cars attraction that will be taking over Tom Sawyer's Island. And then, of course, everyone is patiently awaiting to see if there's any vertical construction for the Villains area. I think they've still got a little bit of time before you actually see something go vertical for Villains. Also, rumor has it that they were testing for Big Thunder Mountain and that they may be allowing for more guests to enjoy some soft openings, some previews. Of course, the official opening for Big Thunder Mountain is just here in a few weeks. May 3rd, I believe, is the opening day. So I would expect that they start doing some cast member previews here in the next week or so, followed by basically a soft opening. I don't think they're going to do anything with annual pass holders, since this is just a reopening of a refurbished attraction, not necessarily a brand new attraction. We got the Main Street vehicles that are still going on strong as we're midway through the castle show. And I want to preface this also, anybody who is watching, even though I do a lot of talking throughout the stream, I will probably be doing a lot of talking once the Frozen characters come out. I'm not sure how well that music is being picked up, but that is definitely copywritten. And just so we don't get the dreaded YouTube strike. Okay, I'm a little late with the chat there. Apparently, yeah. Sometimes it's chat. And also to let everybody know, I am blind, so I'm using my voiceover and my headphones to interact with the chat. Every time I come on this, it's always something different. Usually the chat is the first thing that pops up when I scroll to the right. But for some reason, it's letting me share the channel first, which I'm happy to do. But yeah, like I said, this will be our spot for the next 2.5 hours as we go for the 3 o'clock parade on this time stamp Tuesday, reflecting on some of the old days and even some of the upcoming days. Like I said, we have Big Thunder Mountain should be opening up May 3rd, so we should be seeing some previews happening in the next couple weeks, if not next week and beyond. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is fully open, operational. That was opened back on April 8th, just a few days ago. And like I said, the concrete is being poured over there at Piston Peak for the upcoming Cars Land, followed by Villains probably won't be really going under construction until later this year, going into next. I do still hear that they do plan on opening up both of those areas at the same time, so no staggered openings, which is kind of disappointing because I think that Piston Peak is going to be finished probably a good 8 to 9 months before Villains is ready to go. But Disney's put out some bigger magic tricks before. We had a pretty good live stream just yesterday at Epcot, sitting right in front of Spaceship Earth. So I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in for that. Usually Epcot days are pretty much just going to be that. We kind of do a lap to ourselves, kind of having our little merry time, enjoying really an empty park, doing some pin trading before I just sit down and enjoy Spaceship Earth. Like I said, we would love to do rides, but sometimes those rides just don't work to our favor. If you tuned into our last live stream here at the Magic Kingdom, we tried to do Pirates. We had a cast member that let us go through the Lightning Lane line of Pirates, but unfortunately, we lost signal going into the building. I kind of feared that we would because, like I said, when I worked that building, I knew all the dead zones. That pretty much it's even hard to get a phone signal in. And because there were parts of the key line that we were very stationary, that is very very difficult to get a signal over there, especially when you're going over. I will call this the starboard side. If you don't know, there are two sides to Pirates of the Caribbean. There's the port side and the starboard side. The starboard side is traditionally where they send all of the lightning lanes, just because that's what the cast members do. The starboard side is also the side with the smallest dock, so keep that in mind in reference to that. So because we were going down the starboard side, that I know is one of the thickest parts of the building because there's actually a section that is heavily, like right across the doorway is basically a backstage area, and I know that it's very heavily thick in concrete in that area. Versus going down the port side, which is a little bit lighter because there is a lot more door access to the outside areas. But you kind of got to go where the cast members tell you to go, unfortunately. And as always, yes, as you come in, even if you're not staying, even if you want to poke your head in, the best thing you can do, the freest thing you can do is leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not. And if you do stick around for a little longer, if you are handy with the keyboard and you don't want your boss to see you in your cubicle, just go ahead and share this page on social media. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people to join in on this time, join in on the conversation. Tell us about your favorite pastime vacation and tell us about any other future vacations that you have planned. And it doesn't even matter if it's Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Paris, Disney Tokyo. We have not been to the international parks, but I would love to take my kids and my wife out there maybe one day. If the channel does very good, I should say. It does give us a little bit of inspiration when we see people with, I mean, even though we got a long ways to go, but people with 15,000 subscribers making their way out to do international travel, definitely helpful when it comes to the likes and subscribes. We even would like to bring in some cruise videos our way. We had a lovely cruise last year. It was the first time we took a cruise together. It's actually my first time on a cruise, period, and it met all my expectations. And it had been my wife's first time in probably 20 years since she had been on a cruise. So yeah, it was definitely everything that I expected, and we're actually itching to go back on more. It's kind of a toss between do we go on a Disney cruise or do we go to Disneyland. The reason why it's a big toss up is because, well, we live in Florida, so at best we're about an hour and a half away from the nearest cruise port at Port Canaveral. But then, Disneyland is only a 4.5 plane ride away from MCO. Yeah, I know for a fact that I'm about to say Back to the Future. The acronym threw me off a little bit, but I'm very interested. I will be very very interested to see or hear how many YouTubers and vloggers are just getting on Big Thunder Mountain to capture a sneak peek at Piston Peak. I think you'll probably see a good chunk of it. But again, I think that the walls are going to hide a lot because, ironically, Big Thunder Mountain does not go entirely too high in the air. There's really only one good spot to see it in, and it is the second lift hill before you get to the infamous Billy Goat. But then you'd also have to probably turn around backwards to get a good shot of it. But I would definitely imagine that you know, Disney. I'm not to say there'll be sticklers with it, but I think that due to safety precautions and they just don't want people losing equipment and things like that, they might be a little harsh, or they might be a little bit more stricter on bringing devices onto that attraction. Very similar to how they've been with Tron. Obviously, Tron does have a little compartment to hold like a small phone. I don't think they don't encourage people to film on that particular attraction. They're not going to turn people away from that, but I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the lockers were implemented for the most part, not just for the bags, but so that people don't have big bulky cameras that don't fit in that compartment, that they could sneak out and film parts of the attraction.
We're gonna go to the back right here. Yeah, I think we can go to a lot. I don't get to that with
Now, me, however, I am going to really be into um, the store stuff that might put over there. I wonder if they're going to put in another quick service in that area because really the way it seems like they're expanding it, they're going to have to add some sort of not necessarily a quick service restaurant like a Pecos Bills, but maybe a quick service window, very similar to the Outpost. That's located just between Frontierland before you get to Adventureland on the Frontierland walkway. Some refreshment ports, things like that. I could see them. Obviously, nobody's going to want to see it as a direct copy of Disneyland, so I couldn't imagine them bringing a cozy cone, but something that may be symbolic to the general storyline that they're providing. Like for instance, I want to say, if I remember Cars 3 correctly, there was a specific little area that they went to when Lightning McQueen was doing some of his training that I could see them fitting into the theming for Piston Peak. But I will definitely be interested to know how much detail are vloggers going to show towards Big Thunder Mountain and the new improvements to Big Thunder Mountain before it just starts being people want to film Big Thunder Mountain because they just want to get sneak peeks of a Piston Peak. As construction is really probably going to ramp up. I mean, really, once they get the concrete done, it's pretty much full speed ahead as far as construction goes for the rest of the place. I would probably say that they're going to get obviously the bulk of the track put in first to make sure that's squared away before you start seeing some foliage. And then once the foliage really gets put into play, then I don't think you'll be able to see much of the track at all from Big Thunder Mountain. But at least that's based off of what I've been explained from the concept art. Because there is going to be some, I believe there's going to be some sort of a forest type of element to keep up with the look of Tom Sawyer's Island. How it had like a nice little woodsy feel. And of course, the crowds here. Crowds here are picking up here at the Magic Kingdom. Like I said, it's going to be a high about 84 degrees, partly cloudy. I definitely think it's definitely climbing into the 80s right now as we hit that 1 o'clock hour. I actually picked the wrong type of shirt to wear, but I haven't worn I don't think I've worn my Haunted Mansion baseball jersey since I think I've only worn it once since I bought it about 2 weeks ago. I've worn my Roosevelt at least 2 times, so I figured, okay, let's let the jersey have a chance. As Jenny is wearing some of her Haunted Mansion gear. And as far as the pins go, pin hunting today, it it's been interesting. I don't want to look at that. Oh, let me put the pyro here. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Chance it. But yes, the pin hunting did not go very well today. If you don't know, Tuesday is a pin drop. A pin drop is basically when the newest pins do hit the stores here at the Walt Disney World area. Several locations across the Walt Disney World Park, plus a location located in Disney Springs. It is a haven for the utmost disrespectful pin traders that ever hit the market. If you didn't notice, also check your eBay, check the check the marketplace. You probably see the pins up there for a little bit more than what they sell them for. That's just the name of the game. But due to the pin drop and all the pin traders being here collecting the pins, the pin boards obviously are also the next to get wiped out. So it doesn't make it too much enjoyable for the casual pin collectors that we are. But hopefully, my wife, as she makes her rounds around the park again, that they will have a little refresh done to them, as most of the pin traders are going to be on to the next, trying to see where else they can find some latest additions. And once again, as you're coming in, go ahead and help us out. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people to subscribe and check out this time for casual conversations. We are here on Timestamp Tuesday. Again, we've been talking about a little bit about the future of Walt Disney World. So it's future time as we live stream here in the present time, reminiscing about the past time, the good old days. I actually saw was listening to a video about a gentleman who was referring to old school Disney. People miss old Disney. People miss the perks, the benefits of either being an annual pass holder, a cast member, or even a local for that matter. Seems as if that's fallen by the wayside because now it just seems as if everybody is basically running off of money. Fast Pass. Fashion it again, Fast Pass. Yeah, you missed it yesterday. We had a nice little ride tracks even showed up yesterday. We had quite a few people. Antonio Tower, ride tracks. Who else was that? Tiki Man fan. Um, Cast member Monique. All the usual suspects. All right, so that was the. Let's see. I don't even know what time it is now. I would imagine there might be one more castle show before the Main Street Entertainment starts to make its way, getting ready for, like I said, 3 o'clock parade. I'm not sure if they're going to have any of the high schools performing marching bands today. They usually come out exactly 1 hour before the 3 o'clock parade. So at 2 o'clock, if there is a marching band present, they will make their way. If not, it would be the Main Street Philharmonic. We did see them earlier today. We heard them playing in the hub as we made our first round around the park. So it's good to hear them back again because I don't think I've heard them as frequent as we usually do. And the last live stream, I don't even know the last live stream we did at Magic Kingdom. I don't know if we were farther back, but I don't even recall the stage show happening there. And we are in the same spot because one thing I did notice is I usually place myself in a trash can in between a pole and the trash can itself, but there's a lot more space in between this trash can. So either someone moved it or they forgot where it goes. As I said earlier today, we got a little time stamp Tuesday as the Main Street vehicles are making their way up and down Main Street. It's very funny because number of years ago, before the pandemic, I never really saw the Main Street vehicles coming out. It always seemed as if the crowds were always just so busy, so the Main Street vehicles never were a thing for the longest time. It wasn't. It was. I would say sometime last year we actually got to ride the double decker bus. That's something I barely ever see happen. And for those of you who remember old school, remember back in the day when you could used to be able to take the trolley, the horse-drawn trolley yourself, and there used to be two. And at one point down Main Street, USA, you would basically they would basically cross paths at some point. So, but now the horse-drawn trolleys they are regulated now just for the dapper dance, and that is of course whether or not the horses are available. When we stayed at Fort Wilderness over Christmas, we actually took the a horse-drawn trolley ride from the Riverside Resort, and that was a very interesting experience. We got to talk to the cast member who told us how trained these horses are. I'm talking about they are trained, like to the point. I mean, I didn't even know that you could train a horse to, let's just say, use the bathroom on command. But literally, like, yeah, she pulled over to a grassy patch, made a little sound that the horse identified with, and the horse went to town. It's fascinating. It's fascinated by public public urination by an animal. That's also another reason why please be careful when you're doing your walk around the resorts, especially around the Riverside Resort area. Just be careful of those patches of grass, those those random patches of grass that just don't seem to add up. Because that's exactly what that is. Same thing with some parts of the park around here. If you did not notice, there are several relief areas for what's it called? What you got?
Right, that took forever. I didn't go through all of it.
Oh,
Can I have a drink before?
oh yes. Is it on this side or the other side?
Right, I got it. Tell everyone I said hi.
Hmm.
Tell everyone I said hi.
Oh yes, I'm pretty sure they heard you because I didn't hear you.
Okay.
But yes, just be careful where you step sometimes because there are relief areas for service animals. They're not like out in the open, but they're definitely on a curb somewhere. So pay attention to those curbs. There was one over there by the Pirates of the Caribbean's gift shop, and I remember working there one time, and I see some people that are letting their kids kind of play around the bushes area, and I had to tell them, "Hey, you might want to be careful." Are you right there? Fast, fast. It's like, tell us yourself. They heard you say stuff.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
So this microphone is pretty good. Then it picks up on everything. Like,
Hello. Hello.
too bad we weren't streaming it earlier when you had your word slip up that I will never let go down.
Black man and cereal?
No, that was yes.
Oh, well, if you I did it again. Dang it.
So what is it earlier today? Pot short kid.
God, I hate myself.
Urban oily.
Oh my God. Urban.
Urban oily. Oh look, pot short gifts is urban oily. Yeah, you wise guy. That's like the Three Stooges.
Oh God. God, I gotta answer it.
Urban oily, eh?
Oh, that's your. Never mind. You're gonna stop talking.
Oh, apparently you're a big YouTube star. You can't be addressing our fans
What?
because you didn't want to say hi directly, so you want to me to do it.
No.
Tell them I said hi.
Makes me feel important. Oh God. I'm a big star. I'll call her right now.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, well, she's my middle child, I guess you could say, decided to call me, which probably knocked out the audio a little bit. She should know better. I do hear the Main Street Philharmonic down the street. This must be their half show. Sometimes they come all the way down, but I think that sometimes they'll come only to the castle area before they have to immediately go back to prepare for the 3 o'clock parade. Of course, if you don't know by now, the 3 o'clock parade is prelude. Is of course usually there is a performance by a high school marching band from somewhere in the United States of America as they get to travel here to perform in front of the crowds here in the Magic Kingdom. Shortly after that, it is typically the Main Street Philharmonic as they make the entire parade route. Then after that, about 10 to 15 minutes before the parade kicks off, the honorary grand marshals of the day, they'll be in a specialized custom vehicle that allows them to wave to the crowds as they go along. Usually the family is chosen as usually I think they're like the first family to come into the park. So the first guests will be the honorary grand marshals. And then of course the 3 o'clock parade promptly kicks off from Frontierland over there by Tiana's Bayou Adventure at 3 o'clock, making its way down to Main Street USA, usually about 3:10 to 3:15. It really depends on how fast they want those vehicles to go. And I know I always forget to say this, but I am still bitter that Merida from Brave does not have her float. That was probably one of my favorite parts. For some reason, I'm drawn to the Brave character, the movie, but just very upset that they got rid of her float. I imagine it has to be for a safety precaution, though. Don't know what that safety precaution might have been, but she's been regulated to the character palooza, which is the cavalcade that takes, or sorry, the character cavalcade, which takes place throughout in and throughout the day. Unfortunately, not while we're here. This is going to be generally a short stream compared to what we've done before. Like I said, I'm only going to be here for about 2.5 hours. We're probably going to be here up until about 3:30 or so, just after the parade ends, before we have to hightail it. The kids are winding down. This is their last week of actual rehearsals before they actually have to do the full dress rehearsal for next week's play of The Wizard of Oz. And then after that, they will basically be out of school, which means, or I should say, no, I take it back. At the end of May, they'll be out of school. So then after May, of course, we do take our hiatus, so to speak. I would still like to try to go live at some point. We do have some upcoming plans happening. Hopefully, if everything goes smoothly within the next month, I would like to do a lot more streaming from the house. Something that we have kind of avoided doing for the most part, but I think that here in the next month or so, we might be setting up to do that quite a bit more, just to keep the YouTube channel alive while we do take a break from live streaming in the park. We might attempt it because the kids actually did do pretty well the last time we did live stream. Of course, they did have their iPads for a lot of it because they did want to. I think Titan wanted to film some things himself. But I would like to start getting them adjusted to going to the parks, at least in small areas of the parks by themselves, sticking close to us for the most part. Like I said, it's very easy for me to set up somewhere and the kids just recognize kind of where I'm at. so they can always know they can come back to me if they need to while Jenny does some pitch rating. I kind of want to give them some more freedom because I was about Calypso's age when my dad would let me venture off into the lands by myself, not necessarily the entire park. Like if we happen to be in the Fantasyland and my dad wanted to take my little brother on Dumbo, he would let me run on over to get on. Well, back in the day, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, before that closed, or he would let me venture off to check out Mickey's Toontown Fair, little stuff like that. And that as of the rest of this week, like I said, we plan on streaming. Actually, we kept our word this time, so we were streaming yesterday at Epcot, and then we're here today for our customary Tuesday live stream for the parade. Wednesday, we're taking a little bit of a break. Um, it's Titan's birthday tomorrow, so we're surprising them. We actually had I guess, a friend now that was able to get us into Epic Universe for tomorrow. So we'll be going there, kind of getting a feel for the area. We'll probably won't be doing any filming. Obviously, it's our first time being there all together, and I think we just want to get a layout of the area. We're hoping that we'll enjoy it because our Universal passes basically did just expire. We're going to renew them for one more year. I'm hoping that we can at least start live streaming from Universal Studios once we get enough of a generated traffic coming through, because it's really hard for my wife to turn down her pin trading. So, but if we get enough people watching on a continuous basis, we'll probably start doing some Universal live streams while we have this pass. And then, of course, the rumor has it that they're going to be adding Epic to the passes soon. And if that be the case, I do hope that we will add the Epic Universe to our annual pass and maybe start streaming from there more often as well. But like I said, like to see more support, more people tuning in, coming into the chat. Casper Monique, welcome back. Welcome back. But like I said, tomorrow there will be no live stream. We might just pop in with a people watching Wednesday video that we do have. So stay tuned for that. I honestly don't even remember where it might even be at, but we want to get some more of those videos out to you guys as well. And then, of course, Thursday or Friday, we are still planning on being the Thursday here at the Magic Kingdom. Friday is up in the air, so who knows? I wanted to at least see what we could do for one week of live streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We might try to do this more often, fingers crossed, especially for next week, as like I said, our kids have one more week of Wizard of Oz rehearsals before the performance, which is actually next weekend, I believe. And then after that, we will be right back to our typical YouTube schedule. Most of our streams, if you have not tuned in before, we've been fortunate because our kids have an after school activity. We were only streaming to about 2 o'clock every day, which was just in time for all you fans of Fun to Be Free. But we would take in the morning crowds and then Fun to Be Free, even though he has no idea. He doesn't know that he's partnered with us. I put that out there. But Fun to Be Free, who he does his live streams anywhere in them inside Disney World at 2 o'clock, which is around the time that we end. So we'll be back to that the week after next, and hopefully we'll be able to bring to you that throughout the month of May. Like I said, we do have some big things that we're hoping to happen in May and for the summer. And once some of those things really go into position, I will say once they actually start to happen, and it's like a done deal, then we'll definitely tell everybody the great news. One thing that we're definitely hoping for is that for somehow, by the grace of God, that we'll be able to maybe get another sneak trip out to California. My wife saw a last minute deal. Actually, this is something that's been going on for a while, where we can get some good discounts up until May 7th. We have until May 7th to book a trip, but the trip has to be done by May 21st. I think was the date. It's been something that's been out there for a while, but she just saw, I believe the Pixar Hotel came up, so she's fiending for that, and it definitely makes us want to get. I'm sorry, definitely makes us want to get the annual passes for Disneyland. We've already priced out. I think she priced out the second level tier, which would be about $75 per person. That's not a cheap ticket by all means. Especially, I mean, we're paying quite a bit of money just to be here at Disney World and Universal Studios.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I just heard that they just finished the last bit of painting of the castle. It was really the backside of the castle towards Fantasyland that still had some touch-ups to do. I think the bulk of the pink has been gone for a little bit of time. Well, they finally got it back to its glorious, glorious original color. It's been a long time. I mean, like I said, I never got to see the castle in its pink. They actually completed the pink paint job after I'd been blind, so I did not have to deal with the pink coloring at all. But I can only imagine, as long as it wasn't as bad as the 25th anniversary birthday cake castle, that still haunts me in my dreams sometimes. And you have to excuse me because apparently I've got a beehive of activity on my phone. My chat keeps resetting, so forgive me if I'm missing some of these comments. I'm just scrolling to the end of it because the other day, yesterday, there were so many chats coming in from the great people that was in the chat yesterday. Every time my phone would reset the chat, I'd have to go through over 100 chats. At that point, I was just like, you know what? I can't keep up. I don't know how other people do it. I think that if I don't get to a question soon enough and I start moving on to the next, hopefully somebody will let me catch up with something I may have missed in the comments in the past. Oh, I forgot what I even said yesterday. I said I was going to start the live stream singing the song that Disney won't let nobody hear. Uh, it popped up, like I said, we had a pool day on Sunday, and I found this new station on Pandora that was playing a lot of songs from Disney that you don't normally hear. Like usually, it's always like the soundtracks from the movies. This one is very similar to what Fast Pass Radio probably has. First, it played like the Soaring soundtrack from beginning to end, and then it played Zippity Doo Dah from Songs of the South. And when that song first played, I'm just like, wow, I didn't think they would let anybody play this song, but there it was. Still don't know why. Still don't know why they won't let that song play. There's nothing wrong with the song. I don't know who got offended by the movie. I don't know who got offended by that song, but they need to go somewhere. It's just nothing. I mean, there's really nothing that you could say that's offensive, something like that. It came out like when that movie came out, 1930. God, who knows? 30s, 40s. I mean, it's not like Dumbo where they literally had a character named Jim Crow. I mean, come on now, for real. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I worked here, I don't say I made people uncomfortable, but it's like I had to embrace the blatant racism that's all over. I guess my name is James Crow. Friends call me Jim, and I don't see about everything when I see an elephant fry. Ooh, piano player is playing. Casey Corner. He's playing. I don't know if you guys can hear it from Muppets. I want to say it's from Muppets Take Manhattan. Let me know if the sound is coming in pretty good, though. I mean, clearly, since you heard Jenny say hi, and she was nowhere close to the microphone. All right, so I'm assuming that Jenny is starting her. She's going to check the boards probably one more time as she goes around the park. Like I said, it was a pin drop today. It's where all the maniacal and insane resellers they pop up into the parks first thing in the morning because all they want to do is buy pins and then turn around and sell on eBay. And then they turn around, they take all the pins off the boards, and they can be aggressive. We've heard horror stories, and we've been around for a couple people that just, no, what's the word I'm looking for? No consideration for other people, no consideration for kids. There are kids that like to pin trade, but people will cut in line. And actually, I had a cast member told us that a guest actually not necessarily pushed, but bumped a kid out of the way to get to a pin that the kid was actually going for. And of course, most cast members they still do try to make some magical moments for in situations like that. Even though we cannot do anything towards the guest that did the wrong, we at least try to make it better for the guest that was the recipient of it. And sometimes it's even better than the pin itself. And of course, as always, even if you're peeking your head in for a quick second, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified for all of our upcoming chaos. Like I said, stay tuned to our channel because if everything goes according to plan this summer, I know I'm being very vague with it, but I don't want to jinx the opportunities that we have coming towards us. We've got some big things happening. And like I said, the only thing I will say is that we are hoping to maybe squeeze in one more California trip. Even though, like I said, it's $75 per person for us to get the annual pass there. So that would be about $300 a month that we'd be paying on top of the 300 or so that we have for passes here. That's $600 just in passes. Um, May the Lord bless us in so many different ways. He's blessing us so far. Let's keep that blessing going. I keep seeing these, keep getting these little notifications on my YouTube as well. It wants me to set. I don't know what this setting a goal is. Let's see here. Setting up a creator goal. I don't know what that is. I try not to do too much while we're live streaming because I don't want to lose the live stream like we've done in the past before. Actually, as a matter of fact, I did a live stream on Sunday. It was I would say, my anticipated live stream podcast of WrestleMania that no one was looking forward to. It was a nice 30 minutes that I did speak about some of the things that I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania for all those wrestling fans out there. We had a somewhat good turnout for it. I was actually quite surprised. It was about 9:30 that I started it. From 9:30 to about 10 o'clock. I think there was I think it said about 56 people. I'm surprised at that. I had quite a few people in the chat. Not to say if I don't know if they were real or not, but they were in the chat. So kudos to that. But unfortunately, for some odd reason, I guess we had some issues. I guess we had some Wi-Fi issues. Spectrum, of course, has been very iffy for us at the house over the last couple of weeks. But when I got done with the live stream, it told me that I live streamed for 33 minutes, told me all my chats, showed me all the stuff I wanted to see. But then once it finally finalized, then it said there was only 9 minutes. And I was just like, huh. I never went back and watched it. I just kind of like took it as must have had some technical difficulties due to the Wi-Fi. So I just got rid of it completely. However, I will say I was very happy that uh, Strawberry Field Fairy, they were in the chat for the WrestleMania, for the wrestling content. So they chimed in on the very next day. So at least I know that that people were out there and it wasn't just my imagination. But that's kind of like one of the biggest things is getting. I want to get more into the home streams, live streams, podcast form. I don't know. I mean, I was asking this question too. Do people want to see a visual? Even if we were like, if I was to sit at the home with the camera, do you really want to see my face? Or are we perfectly fine with if I just, if we just get a nice little thumbnail and present it that way? Or do people want a visual? I know a couple of people some months ago, the name for escapes me. They always wanted to see a poolside chat because we always talked about our pool sometimes. So they want to see a poolside chat. Well, hopefully, as we try to navigate through some things with our current pool situation, maybe we'll be able to do that in the future. So I'm always looking for other ways to bring in some content without necessarily always have to go to the theme parks. Another guy that he kind of popped up on my YouTube radar. It's not even necessarily about the Disney content. He actually does like just a morning walk around, early morning for those people that like to get to the office and just like to just see the scenery. That's kind of the other thing that I was kind of getting a vibe for. Got some good feedback yesterday, whether or not we should do videos with commentary or not. Some people just like to do POVs and walkthroughs. Tiki Man fan actually told me that people watch them when they're on their treadmill. And it did make me think of other people I've seen or hear do that. They do it for a bike, like when they're on their exercise bikes. People like to have that playing. So I never think of these things, but then when they're brought to my attention, then that's all I can think of. I did hear the Dapper Dans performing behind me. I guess they're not making their rounds down Main Street like I thought they were. Of course, crowds are still kind of rolling in on this Tuesday afternoon. It's not as busy, I don't think, as it was probably for Easter break or Easter week, but it is still considerably busy. Like I said, did a walk around earlier today with my wife. Did bump into a good chunk of people. So I definitely would imagine the park is pretty crowded. And as always, as customary, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Go ahead and chat down below. It is time. I know I didn't put it in the title. I tried to put a little moniker to every day that we'll live stream that resembles time. But today I'm going to call this Timestamp Tuesday, where we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that we would love to do in the future, in the past, and even in the present with our Walt Disney World vacation. If you have any upcoming trips, let us know in the chat down below. We did a live stream from a Port Orleans Riverside about about last week. I think it was Thursday of last week. With every anticipation for there to be a rainstorm, but the rainstorm never came. That's Florida. But a couple of people actually chimed in saying that they were actually booked for Riverside. Riverside being one of the new favorite resorts of ours. Um, my wife was never a huge fan of the Port Orleans resorts until we went there, and now she's. I wouldn't say it's a top because I would say it's replacing her top. Her top is going to be Pop Century as always. But Riverside is a great resort. Port Orleans French Quarter also great resort. I will definitely encourage everybody to broaden those vacations. Stay at different resorts. You never know what you might like. I actually, as much as I like the proximity and everything the deluxe resorts have, I do love what value resorts have as far as theming goes. And then, of course, I do love how carefree it is to stay at a moderate resort because of how spread out they are. And I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for the convenience of some of the deluxes being so close to some of your favorite parks, I really don't see any reason why I would stay at a deluxe any other time.
But of course, we have to tap down. Are you done going on?
And of course, our favorite resort is, of course, going to be Pop Century, which is, again, that's going to be our upcoming stay in July. as customary as it is, because our daughter was born while we were, well, we had an extensive stay at Pop Century back in 2015. We were actually closing on a property in 2015 and it got extended. So when we were anticipating being in the new house before Calypso was born, we actually had to stay in it until about August 4th, I believe. So when Calypso was born on the 30th, she came home on the 31st, and her first home was the Pop Century Resort. So it's one of our traditions that we will stay at Pop Century every single year for her birthday. Titan unfortunately didn't get lucky like that. We were just we actually had just got back to Florida. We actually had, we're just moving back from Florida from an extended stay in Missouri. But he actually was able. He actually has some Disney memories himself, as his first steps were taken at Caribbean Beach, which coincidentally has a store called the Calypso Trading Post. So that's one of the other places that Calypso will claim as her resort. And of course, hopefully everybody doesn't forget. If you did not know, if you stay here at Walt Disney World during the summer, I believe it starts May 28th. If you book a stay at a Walt Disney World resort on the day of your check-in, you get a water park for free. This is a continuation of what it was last year, and I need to stop saying free. Let's just say complimentary. Nothing is free. You're paying for it, and more likely because you're paying really top value to stay at some of these resorts. The least they could do is give you a water park option. That starts on, like I said, that starts, I believe, May 28th, and it runs all the way through the summer. It's actually, for the second time in probably 20 years, both water parks will be open at the exact same time. That is Boonton Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, to make way for this great deal that's coming through. Also, if you did not know, check your Disney Plus subscriptions. They actually have been giving a lot of great deals for Disney Plus card or Disney Plus members. And of course, we also signed up for the Disney Chase Inspire card, which has a great sign up bonus. I'm up here promoting this stuff like I'm selling it. But the Inspire card by Chase is offering a $300 gift card just for signing up and getting accepted to the card. Then there is a $300 statement credit once you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months, I believe, of having the Inspire card. And let's also not forget this Inspire card also allows you to rack up many, many points that can be used for redemptions in Walt Disney World as far as a gift card. Not your traditional cashback card. And also remember, I think one of the deals is also if you spend $100 in theme park tickets in a year, they give you a $100 credit for that. And also, if you spend $2,000 in a Walt Disney World vacation, you get a $200 credit at the anniversary of that car. I say that because I'm excited that I actually signed up for that card. I've been very strategic in my credit card building, but I figure why not? Can't pass up on that card. Can't pass up on that sign up offer, especially because only basically for $1,000 you can get up to $600 in Disney value. Definitely worth it if you're a fan of Disney. So not to sit there and say I'm promoting it as well. We're not sponsored by Chase. We're not sponsored by Disney. But if you are a fan of Disney, you find yourself going there quite often. It's not a bad deal to get into. I will actually try to designate my Disney card specifically for our Disney vacations, staycations. All right, so yes, like I said, we're sitting here waiting for the 3 o'clock parade. Some of the activities should be starting up here pretty soon. I'm actually not really absolutely sure what time it is, but if you're tuning in, if you like sitting on Main Street USA on a Tuesday afternoon waiting for the 3 o'clock parade, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Give us a big thumbs up as we continue to climb We are very, very close to, I believe, 1,300 subscribers. I would love to get to 1,500 fairly soon. We do have some upcoming things that we do have planned, like I said, for the summer. I actually think that we want to concentrate some more on our videos throughout the summer. That might be a little bit easier to do with the kids as well. And I think the kids do want to be more involved with the YouTube channel in of itself. So we'll soon see what the future holds. See if we have a little bit of a company going on. Like I said, it's gonna be about a high of 84 degrees. It's partly cloudy, so the wind definitely helps with the cooling of the temperatures. It's actually, it's actually very surprising as how nice it's been. I would say it's been a little bit cooler than what we would have liked. We've had a lot of days into the 70s. Realistically, at this time of the year, any other time, we'd probably be climbing to the 90s every single day. You'd be seeing a lot of mouth breathers walking around that can't stand the heat. But it's been very doable for a lot of people. I think that a lot of people that just moved down to Florida, they're finally thinking to themselves, "Hey, it's not that bad after all." And then May kicks in. It's gonna be May. Um, as I said before, our next upcoming live stream is we have it penciled in for Thursday, right back here at the Magic Kingdom. And then Friday is going to be up in the air. I'm going to try to convince her to maybe see if we can go to Animal Kingdom. Usually, if we do Animal Kingdom, it'll be a two-part day because we'll also probably go to Hollywood Studios as well. If we were to do that, I would probably break it up into maybe two different live streams. Really just depends on how we really want to work that. Either that, or I could keep the live stream going as we transfer from one part to the other. But I do have to take into consideration that the battery for my phone would probably have to charge for the most part. It's usually difficult to stream at Hollywood Studios because of all the copyrighted music anyway. So if anything, because she doesn't spend a lot of time pin trading at studios, there's no pin trading like for instance at Star Wars, the Star Wars area. So it kind of nips it in the butt. There's not that much pin trading on Toy Story, so there's only a handful of spots in Hollywood Studios. So if I was to stream at studios, it would be a very short stream, probably not even like 45 minutes. But we might just go ahead and start doing some other filming on a day like that. So like I said, even though I plan on streaming on Thursday, or Thursday and Friday, it might be Thursday for sure. Friday will probably be something in Animal Kingdom because she can't do usually two laps there. But at the same time, it might just be a short live stream on Thursday, and then we'll just maybe film some content for videos on Friday. Like I said, we do want to kind of get back into the groove of that during the summer break that we have with our kids. And like I said, we do have some things that we want to do for summer. Disneyland, of course, is something that she's shooting for. And if you know us, we're very last minute. It may not seem like something that we could do in the next minute. You never know. May 7th is the deadline to book for the special rates that they're giving. We could do it on May 6th and find ourselves going there May 10th. You never know. So, like I said, stay tuned for anything like that. And then, like I said, once the kids get out of school at the end of May, the live streams, we'll try to do some live streams depending on where we're at, depending on how the kids are going to act. Sometimes they're perfectly fine going to a playground. So if I could convince them to go to, like, if I could convince them to know where I'm sitting when we go to a park, and then they play in a playground for a couple hours just for the live stream, I will gladly do that. Like I said, we're going to be going to Epic Universe tomorrow. We do have to update. We're basically going to have to renew our Universal Annual Pass for the parking for the most part. Plus, there's probably some experiments I want to do. I do want to live stream at Universal Studios. It seems to be something that a lot of people are doing on other people's YouTube channels. We have done one live stream inside Universal Studios. It did pretty good, but of course, we didn't have the audience that we have now. Actually, I don't even think we were monetized when we did it the last time. So we'll definitely try to do some Universal Studios. Sorry, I've just got a lot of things coming in over the phone. Like I said, because I have the voiceover on, lets me hear the messages that I will definitely have to address later on today. But as always, thank you everyone for tuning in. Excuse me for all the distractions I'm having. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this mess for some odd reason, as we are waiting for the 3 o'clock parade. What the heck? No. No.
Like, we're about to die. Yeah, so we go, every 2 hours.
Asia, don't come in here. Make it demands. Um, well, let's see. I don't think my Wi-Fi should be on. And you would think with my very expensive AT&T, we shouldn't be having any service interruptions, at least from this standpoint. I can't go into the Disney Wi-Fi because it is a little bit crowded. I think that everyone is going to be utilizing that Wi-Fi, so that definitely makes for the stream to be a bit more spotty than it needs to be. At least until we make enough money to get one of those, get one of those, get one of those Starlink, get one of those Starlink devices so we can have a satellite connected to my backpack. Oh yes, yes. Asia is the how would you say? Well, she's not the redheaded stepchild. But she's definitely the middle child in all the children I now have. All right, as you can tell. Okay, so as you can hear the stage show, I did think there was another stage show happening. It's been a while since I've actually kept track of that. So one more stage show is going to be happening right now before we start to welcome the events prior to the 3 o'clock parade. Again, you'll definitely hear me pick up the conversation once the Frozen part comes into play, as that is copyright music. So I'll be, if you hear some long pauses here in the next few minutes, it's going to be me gathering my thoughts so I can ramble in the next 2 or 3 minutes to get around the copyrights. But yes, the plans for the future are up in the air. We're very last minute. We do have something that we're fingers crossed will be happening in the next month or so that will definitely make the summer go by a little bit faster. I'm also hoping to, once I said the kids get out of school, I want to get them more acclimated to walking around the parks by themselves, or at least in a general area. Calypso is at the age that I was when my dad first experimented with me walking around the parks by myself. So I figure if we go to a Disney park, if I'm live streaming there, it'll be like how we're doing here. I'll pick a spot that's convenient for them to remember while they go and adventure on. So we might be seeing some different viewpoints as well, because I know that they enjoy the playgrounds at Epcot. I know they enjoy the playground at Mission Space. They could spend probably an hour or so in there. But I definitely would like for them to get used to either going around certain parts of the parks by themselves and or getting on attractions by themselves. We actually did that, if you believe it or not, the first time we did it. This is how comfortable we feel at Disneyland. We felt very comfortable doing it. They did it at Disneyland. We sat down for a minute while they got on the Casey Jr. train. And I'd say a proud dad moment, but I kind of could feel like that's what my dad probably felt. They stood up. Actually, they did it twice. They did it for the Casey Jr. train, and we let them go in line by themselves for a Gadget's Go Coaster, which is very similar to Goofy's Barnstormer. Yeah, yeah, it's geared by my laughter. I just caught up with that comment. Yes, we probably should bet. We should probably suspend Asia for about what was that time, one time Fast Pass? I think that Jenny accidentally she accidentally like put you in timeout for like I think it was a cumulative of like 8,888 seconds, which I can't remember how many days that was. I would say if Asia knew how to be a moderator, we could make her a moderator, but she might let that power go to her head. All right, now please, you got the skip from 110, 110, and now. Thank you. How about quick step from again? Yes, and in case anybody is new, if anybody did want to know, this is the story of my life. Before I met my lovely wife Jenny, let's see, we got married in 2015. So what's that? That's 12 years. So let's say 13 years ago on this day, I was a bachelor, no kids, never been married. The life. And then in one fell swoop, I get married. I end up having 3 kids automatically, and at that time, 3 grandkids. Next thing you know, we have 2 kids, so that's 5 kids now that I basically claim. And then what I have now, three, five, 7 grandkids. Holy mackerel! And then thanks to Asia, now we have a slew of dogs. Oh, okay. Yeah, let your mom know how that's going with the dog. No. So Asia's not been to Disneyland yet. We were trying to convince her. However, so what happened was, I know, I probably should have said. See, what happened was, um, if Disney would not have let me go at any given point in time in the last 6 years, I would definitely have planned on all of us going to Disneyland. It's just really hard because she still lives in Missouri. We live in Florida. How do we coordinate that trip so that we all get to California on time? Fast Pass, I don't think you have a car big enough to transport us around. You could be our designated chauffeur. But I think that we were secretly me and Jenny were secretly planning that, trying to figure out how that would work out, but it just never came to pass. And then, of course, Disney unfortunately did let me go. So all that is kind of put on hold. But yes, we've told her, we tell everybody, you got to go to Disneyland. If you love Disney World, you got to go to Disneyland. We actually had that. Well, unfortunately, Fast because of the business that we have, we don't get taxes back. We have to actually pay Uncle Sam. Even though I am thinking, no, let me not say that. Let me not say that out loud. I don't want to incriminate myself. I will say this though, maybe depending, like I said, depending on our current situation and how the summer goes, it's definitely worth. Because I've done a lot of research over the last couple of years with credit cards. I'm not going to say I'm a credit card what's it called? What do they call it? Not console, whatever you call a professional credit card. So I don't know my words. But I'm definitely looking into using some credit card sign up bonuses to maybe pay for that future Disney vacation. Actually, as a matter of fact, that's actually what we did last year. We signed up for not to give personal details. We signed up for that American Express Gold Card, which to me was like the creme de la creme of credit cards for someone beginning like me. So big accomplishment on a financial standpoint to be able to have that. Hold on one second. Okay. So we got the American Express Gold Card, and you know, it had a big sign-up bonus, had a big spend. That's all we went to Disneyland with. So when I say that we spontaneously took that trip because it was literally like sign up for the Gold Card. Because originally I didn't think I was going to get that card. I thought I was going to get a big nope. Because I mean, come on, it's American Express. I felt as if they say no to everybody, but here they are. They accepted me, and it was a nice little charge card. So there's no credit spend, God forbid. And we looked at my wife, what's expected this card to come so quickly, and we're like, well, go to Disneyland. Sure enough, booked that trip, and then 24 days later, we were in Disneyland. That's how spontaneous we are. Where most people are counting down the days that they can book for their reservations and things like that, we're over here just like, yeah, we're in that window to do all that. And then the very next month in July, hold on one second. The very next month in July, signed up for another credit card. Like I said, I did my research. We knew what we could do with this. Signed up for another credit card. That's where the cruise came to play. And we took that lovely, I think it was a four day cruise, I believe it was. Our first cruise ever on the Disney Dream. Something that I think that we kind of got spoiled over. I think that we do want to do more cruises in the future. I think that we want to do more back-to-back cruises so we can get that status going on very quickly. And I mean, you had me at all you can eat anything I want. I'm down for that. That's exactly what we did. That's exactly what Calypso did. And so yeah, as I said, as the channel progresses, we put a lot of faith in the channel this past year. Like I said, we got monetized early part of last year. We grew substantially from 2024 till now. Even though I know we did take a bit of a break in 2025, but still had a good chunk of people that I was not expecting coming in. We also got our first super chats over the last couple months, so very ecstatic for that one. Also, a big portion. That's the other thing too. Fast pass. As far as taxes go, one of the biggest reasons why we had to claim so much is because we actually had a property that we sold in 2024 that we apparently never got put on our 2025 taxes. So we had to put them on the taxes for this year. So that's why we owe Uncle Sam so much. But next year, I'm writing everything off. As a matter of fact, when I'm sitting here for 3.5 hours, I'm writing off 3.5 hours of whatever I'm doing. I'm writing it off. That sounds like a phone. Jesus. All right, yes, the weather right now is definitely, I would definitely say it's got to be in the 80s right now, even though the wind definitely keeps the temperature at bay. So it doesn't feel as hot. Of course, if you, as always, if you're enjoying live stream from the Major Kingdom, looking at Cinderella Castle as we get ready for the 3 o'clock Festival of Fantasy Parade on this timestamp Tuesday, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified of all the craziness and who knows what type of language that we will have coming out of our mouths and what topics we'll talk about. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people. So check us out on this time. If you tuned in for yesterday's live stream, sometimes Jenny forgets that she has a camera right next to her, so she lets her real feelings come out. And if you tuned into one of our live streams, we actually had a different viewpoint. We had a different viewpoint of the parade about 2 weeks ago or so. We actually filmed the parade from Frontierland, which was a bit of a mistake. I actually did not care for that spot, mainly because the trash cans, there was no real good trash cans to set up on. Don't mind holding the camera, but the fiasco after the fact, let's just say there was a lot of choice language from a lot of people that were surrounding us. Almost sounded like someone's about to get into a fight because you know how the parade goes. People want to follow the parade. Apparently, I think someone with an electric scooter wanted to go. They want to swim upstream, almost bumping into somebody, and that person was not having it. But yeah, we'll definitely try to convince. Back to the Disney thing. We'll definitely try to convince Asia to come on down to Disneyland, especially with her little ones. Got to experience Disneyland all together. I think they'll enjoy it. I was actually quite surprised how much I really thought our kids would enjoy it, but I was very surprised at how much they enjoyed it. Got Titan on Space Mountain, which again he kind of was fearful the first time that we talked about it, but then once we got him on it, he wanted to do it every day from that point. He actually wants to do the Incredicoaster too. Calypso's kind of on the fence on it. You actually should have seen her. I wish we would have took some video of it. She is not a fan of the Ferris wheel over there at Pixar Pier. And we didn't even get on the one that slides. We didn't get on the one that dangles. We just got on the regular one, and I don't know. I didn't think she was afraid of heights, but she definitely. You could definitely sense the fear in her voice as we were just going around. But it was also fun because they enjoyed the swings. I think it's the Silly Symphony swings. They enjoyed the Golden Zephyr. If you don't know, these are California Adventure. Look them up on YouTube. They're the classic versions of the State Fair rides back in the day. I was, yeah, like I said, very quite surprised how much they enjoyed those, and of course, very pleased at how much they enjoyed probably my favorite ride ever, Indiana Jones over there at Adventureland. Very excited that we're going to be getting our own version here at Animal Kingdom. Yes. Sorry.
On this side. Okay, good. We are stuck.
Strawberry, welcome in. Yes, we are here live in the Magic Kingdom. Strawberry. Jenny is actually doing another round of pin trading. The pin drop was today, so the first round of pins was sucky suck. So she's going to test her luck to see if maybe they've refreshed the boards now that some of the pin traders are going off to the next place. I always think that pin traders are like Silver Surfer from the Fantastic Four. They like to suck the life out of all the pins before they move on to the next park to suck the life out of there. And of course, if you've ever been involved in the pin trading community, 90% of the people that are pin trading are only solely in it for profit, because you will then see these pins ultimately popping up on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace. Um, Typically, Jenny does seek out these pins for other people, So there's kind of like a client base that she's searching the bins for. It's not just to sell to the highest bidder, which unfortunately is just what most people are doing. It really sucks too because it goes back to the conversation I had where most people here that come to Disney, they only want to do it for a profit, whether it be through social media. Like, I mean, it's kind of like I always think to myself, like, I'm a little bit different than most people who are YouTubers and live streamers because I actually do enjoy the product. I've actually been to Disney prior to the sensation of social media. I think that a lot of people just are here for the fact that, hey, I can make money with it. Same thing with the pin traders. They're only here to pin trade. I would say there's some people that buy annual passes just to be pin traders, probably have no connection to anything in the park. I don't think students want to hear me talk. I don't even think most people in the live stream want to hear me talk half the time. Probably why we never get that big of a traction. I see some people they'll have like a well, I mean I question some of them, but I'll see some people that'll have like 200 people in their chat in the first 15 minutes, and I'm like, man, they haven't even done anything. Like, there was one person's live stream I just happened to click on, and they have a nice following. But like I watched their video and it just happened to come up, and I think for the first 20 minutes, oh man, I can't remember where they were streaming at. It wasn't really a view. It was a view, but it wasn't like a good view. And yeah, I clicked on it. It was like 150 people watching, and it had been on for like 10 minutes. And it's like, how did they get this? This is crap. But then again, I did have 50 people on one of my podcasts at home. 50 people were observing my chin, so that says a lot about social media community. Tiki Man, welcome in, Tiki Man. Yes, as you can tell, we are live streaming here from the Magic Kingdom. We're just waiting for the activities to begin for the 3 o'clock parade. Of course, we're at the tail end of the castle show. Hopefully, that Frozen music, they really turned up that Frozen music for some odd reason. But the Frozen part of that show is something I do have to talk over so that I can try to avoid any copyrights. Hopefully, I will get the notification if it did go through. If not, Jenny will probably have to cut that part out, which is pretty simple. YouTube's pretty simple at either letting us mute the entire segment or mute the music of the segment. But that's one of the reasons I try to talk over the entire thing as well. But yes, we're here live. It's Tuesday, Main Street USA. We're doing a little timestamp Tuesday. Like I said, whenever we go live, I try to throw in something that aligns with the theme of this time, where we will try to post or talk about some of our memories of the past, whether it be here at Disney World or even at Disneyland. I could say I do have some interesting memories of Disneyland. Not too much though, because I only went to Disneyland probably 3 times prior to our first trip in 2015. I think well, actually, I tell you this: the last time I went to Disneyland before 2015, California Adventure didn't even exist. California Adventure wasn't that the parking lot for Disneyland at one point in time. I just remember we stayed at the Embassy, which was on the backside of Toontown, because I remember seeing the facade of Toontown from our room, and I remember the bus would drop us off to the Disneyland. So where the buses go now for Disneyland, but there was no pedestrian. It was like it took us farther up, it seemed, to where now the pedestrians seem to walk. That's what I thought. That's what I was talking about. Hold on. The Dapper Dance interrupted the castle show. They're a little early, I think. Sounds like they're behind me, so I'm not going to really rotate the camera. But man, they I guess not to disparage the hard workers here at the cast members here at Disney, but either someone missed their cue or someone needs to turn down their audio. Oh, volume. Yeah. Oh, would you be able to check messages while I'm still live streaming?
Text messages or messages?
Messenger, because Javier was asking if we're still on for today.
Oh, yeah. Let me see.
Or turn the voiceover off first. Oh, voice. Turn the voiceover off. Okay, there you go.
All right, this one's about my favorite villain.
Oh, I'll probably sing a Disney song after they're done. It's a Disney song that they won't let anybody sing.
Hard to get down.
They turned the music up for the Dapper so much I can't hear anything. And then I think they turned up the stage show too because the music was. I've said this spot so many times before, and the music was so loud this time.
You guys hold hands.
Oh, Asia came into the chat, but she's on. She's getting called into the vet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Reed says that since he found out that Asia was our daughter,
Yeah.
she should just get banned. Because Asia put in 3 comments back to back to back, and Reed was deleting the comments, and then but then so it was like, oh, Asia's our daughter, whatever like that. It's like, oh, well, in that case, then she should just be banned. I was like, yes.
What was she commenting just about? What was she commenting?
Well, she first she said like, I have arrived, and then it was I can't remember what the other one said. Nothing bad or anything. Oh yeah, she said something about I guess on her end our service is pretty bad, but then it fixed itself. So. Oh, are you done with it?
Let me just check it again.
Because when the voiceover's on, I can hear it come in again. All right, that was the Dapper Dance. The only bit of Main Street nostalgia.
I turn it back on for you.
Okay, I heard it.
Okay.
The only bit of Main Street nostalgia that they have kept. I wish they would bring back the citizens of Main Street USA. And once again, how's my view?
It's fine. I'll just turn it a little bit.
Oh, Tiki Man came in.
Oh, hey, Tiki Man.
All right, so yeah, as far as let me go back to my since I was really interrupted by the Dapper Dance, who jumped the gun. Dapper Dans usually don't start to come out until after the castle show has happened. So I'm wondering what made them jump the gun a little early there. But yeah, back to the timestamp. Yeah, Disneyland. For the most part, Disneyland did not change much over the what was it? I said the last time I went to Disneyland before 2015. The last time I went to Disneyland was in 1996 or seven. And so, other than California Adventure, nothing had changed. It was the same place, which is what I loved. Even though I will say, going on Indiana Jones in 2015, it felt amazing. But I could definitely tell the differences from what it had been over the last, I mean, even just the last probably 10 years prior to. None of the things inside worked, but I'm fine with that. None of the traps, they worked. You couldn't even see the bats in the bat cave. I remember there used to be a lot more bats hanging from the ceilings, unless guests were just taking them down. What you got? Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me something.
Nope.
You usually don't test me unless you're telling me something. So then, if California Adventure was the parking, then was there anything in downtown Disney? Because I don't remember anything about that area. I don't. I no. Okay, I tell you that. I remember walking past the Disneyland Hotel back in the day, but I don't remember what was around the Disneyland Hotel at the time. And I can't. I mean, I can't even. I can't even picture what was all around the area other than just Disneyland. Yes. Oops. I'm sorry. But once again, if you're tuning in, we are here live on Main Street, USA, on a lovely Tuesday afternoon. Temperature going to be climbing up to 84 degrees. We got some partly cloudy, which is keeping the humidity at bay because we do have a nice little wind breeze coming through. Like I said, we're going to be here until about well, just after 3:30, as we're waiting for the 3 o'clock Festival of Fantasy Parade. We just saw the last of the stage show right before the parade kicks off. Dapper Dan's jumping the gun. They were actually performing just before the stage show is over. If there is a performance from a high school marching band, they should be kicking off here pretty soon. The last couple of months, they've actually had a shorter route. Typically, the parade route starts by Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Frontierland. But for the marching band, the guest marching band, they've actually had them marching from the front over here by the fire station just behind me. They walk up Main Street all the way to the castle where they do a loop around the hub and then they come marching right back. So either way it goes, we get two performances by the same marching band. If they do that, then followed quickly after them, it will be the Mickey Main Street Philharmonic, which will be running the entire parade route, followed by the Grand Marshal, which is a specially selected family, typically the first family entering into Walt the Magic Kingdom gates. They are the honorary Grand Marshals. They are put into a customized special vehicle that then they're taking along the parade route with themselves. Oh, the Dapper's coming back around. Okay. Hear them in the distance. And then, of course, shortly after that is, of course, the spectacle of spectacles, the 3 o'clock Festival of Fantasy Parade. Okay. And as far as a timestamp, I know a lot of people probably aren't too familiar with Disney World's pastimes, but if you are, and if you're in the chat, feel free to chat away. Prior to the heroes and villains parking lots here at the Magic Kingdom, the parking lot was separated into six sections named after six characters. Can you name the 6 characters that were the names of the parking lots? And then there'll be a little tidbit to that question. Now, mind you, I know some of you people are quick with keyboards. They're going on the Google. They're going on Al Gore's internet, typing it on the Google machine. Don't be a cheater. Once again, the original, one of the original, or not should say the original, but one of the pastimes of the Magic Kingdom parking lot was that their parking lots were sectioned off into 6 sections, 6 sections that were named after popular Walt Disney World characters. And there was a reasoning why the 6 characters were chosen. Let's see if we got some participation in the midst of this. I'm gonna start quizzing people on their Disney knowledge. You cannot watch Disney's live streamers if you don't have any knowledge of Disney. We already have enough live streamers that don't have any knowledge of Disney. Like I will say this: if your favorite ride in Disney World is a ride that has been built in the last 5 years, get out. We only appreciate old school attractions. We like the new stuff, but we appreciate old school attractions. If Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion isn't in your top 10, then you're gonna have to go watch Tom Does Disney or something like that. Can't believe I said that. Oops, sorry. I didn't know you were that close.
Trying to make room for people to come up on those.
I will say, by the glory of it not being so hot, I'm not having any issues with my equipment so far. Also, not having any issues standing out in the sun. If, of course, you didn't know, I stand out here for the entire time, right here on Main Street. No seats, maybe occasionally leaning on a pole here and there. I believe one of our live streams, I stood up for just about 4 hours to capture the parades. And yes, I stood up for the entire time. No bathroom breaks, no water, which says a lot too, since I do try to keep a conversation going for the most part of the stream without a single drop of beverage. Oh, my Lord. When the sun shines in my way, zippity doo dah, zippity yeah, Mr. Blue Bird on our shoulder. It's the truth, it's action, but the only satisfaction. Zippity doo dah, zippity yeah, wonderful feeling, wonderful day. Still confused as to why Disney will not allow for that song to still play. Kind of confused as to why they use that excuse to get rid of Splash Mountain. I think that people need to keep the Zippity Doo Dah song alive. Forget all that nonsense about it being, what they say, disrespectful, controversial. Like I said, Zippity Doo Dah is not as offensive. It's not as offensive as having a crow named Jim in Dumbo.
I know exactly how it is. I do that.
Hello, everyone. The Magic Kingdom and Disney Imagination Campus are proud to present from
Mount Washington, Kentucky, the Bullet East High School Marching Band. Please welcome the Bullet East High School Marching Band.
That's a mouthful. Mount Washington, Kentucky, Bullet East Marching Band. So if you have anybody that you know that is from the Mount Washington, Kentucky area, tell them to tune in to this time. Once again, they are going to be coming up from behind me. We're going to keep the camera pointed in this direction. We're going to see them in passing. And then, of course, they will double back around the loop area of the hub. And then they'll come down facing us. We actually had a pretty good outcome the first couple times that we checked out a marching band coming through. All right, just give everybody a heads up too. Here in just a few moments, once that marching band comes back down around, I will be disconnecting my headphones, so I will not be activated into the chat, as I will now be trying to charge the phone so we can keep the live stream going as the parade makes its way around. So once again, if any of the moderators, if they can relay that message, just in case someone wants to spark up a conversation that I'm not able to address. And of course, once again, if you are coming in, just for a sneak peek, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are very close to 1,300 subscribers. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start doing what all the other streamers do, getting everybody to chime in and say, hey, we need this many to get to this many. I think we're about 10 away from 1,300. So make sure that you're smashing that like button. Let's try to keep us up in the algorithm. We still got 2 more days, hopefully, of live streaming to do this week before we go off for the weekend, and then hopefully we'll be able to bring you live streams again Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. That will probably be the last week that we'll be hitting the streams that heavy, or at least this late, as our kids' performances for the Wizard of Oz will be ending next week. So we'll be back to our regular schedule for the month of May, streaming all the way up until about 2 o'clock. Of course, it's greatly appreciated if anybody of you do tune in. If you guys are awake at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, I try to go live on specific days to talk about things outside the Disney realm. We actually had a good conversation. If you did tune in, we had a good conversation about the upcoming event this weekend, WrestleMania, the show of shows, showcase of the immortals, so to speak. Lots of controversial things happening with this year's WrestleMania. We did talk a little bit about in our last live stream, even though apparently YouTube cut me off, only showcasing 9 minutes of 30. I'll have to go to YouTube's headquarters and lay the smackdown. They cut me off one more time. But if that's also your thing, make sure you tune into those. I try to do that sometime after 9:15, 9:30 or so. I try to be very brief because even me, I get tired at that time of the night. It could go longer depending on how festive I feel, but Like I said, last Sunday, I did it for just as a recap of the major events that's happening for WrestleMania. We talked briefly about that and sometimes where I think the direction of the company is going to go. And even though the criticism is strong, give them a break. We also plan on bringing you some driving content. Some people did chime in that they do enjoy driving videos, and I know a lot of people just kind of like to see the hectic chaos that we have to endure as the Mount Washington, Kentucky Bullet East High School marching band makes its way back down Main Street one more time. Like and subscribe to show your support for the Bullet East marching band. Hopefully that they will be able to find this live stream and find those familiar faces as they come right up and down. All right. One more time, that was the Bullet East High School marching band from Mount Washington, Kentucky. And like I said before, I'm going to be disconnecting my headphones for the time being, as we like to charge my phone so that we can keep the parade activity going. So, like I said, from any of my moderators, if anybody does join inside the chat, let them know we're not ignoring anybody. I'm just going to be rambling on for the next hour or so as we get ready for the 3 o'clock parade. Make sure that if you are coming in to like and subscribe, it is the best and the easiest way to support our channel as we are trying to continue to grow. I believe we are only 10 away from 1,300 subscribers. I would like to be, you know what, I would actually like to say, I would like to be at 1,500 subscribers before the end of May, before we supposedly take our hiatus. I would like to be at 1,500 subscribers. If we do 1,500 subscribers by May, I'll probably do within reason, a viewer's choice of what my punishment slash reward will have to be. So, of course, stay tuned for that. All right. So, at this moment, if you see some shaking, don't mind me. I'm just going to be disconnecting my headphones. First, we'll disconnect the voiceover. Voiceover is now off. Check the live stream. Welcome. You still there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we set it out. You baby. I lost. Yeah. Is there any water left? Oh, sorry. Maybe a little. I'm sorry. It's all right. No, there's so many. No, that's all right. Can you go find some? You don't have to. If you know where they happen. Is Starbucks busy? If not, then don't worry about it. Yes, I can see it for about me. All right. So once again, I will not be active in the chat, but feel free to chat away if you are here. It is Timestamp Tuesday. We're going to be trying to do some reminiscing of some of the old days and maybe even some of the upcoming days of your Walt Disney World or your Disneyland vacation. Like I said, love to get out to Disneyland one more time. If the stars and the planets are aligned and everything goes according to plan, especially if we get some good news before May 7th, I might just go ahead and try to book something real quick. Even though it will be difficult because, again, we'd have to take our kids out of school so close to the end of the year. But it's well worth it. It's Disneyland. I'd probably let my kids drop out of school for Disneyland. No, I'm just joking. I would never do that. Stay in school, kids. You'll be just like me. Blind guy streaming from a trash can. But as always, if you're enjoying this view of Main Street USA, if you're enjoying a live streaming on Main Street, looking at the Cinderella Castle on this glorious Tuesday afternoon, high of 84 degrees, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, hit that bell notification, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people. To give this time a try. And then, of course, we're going to be streaming here just until the parade ends, just after about 3:30 or so. Typically, like I said, this parade gets down to us about 3:10, 3:15. The parade's usually completely going past us about 3:20, 3:25. And then there is the sea of people that follow the last parade float for some odd reason. It's been something that people have been doing for Disney parades for at least the last 15 years that I've noticed. Like I said, tomorrow we will not be live streaming. We will be having our family time at Epic Universe for the first time for our son's birthday. And then Thursday and Friday, pencil us in. We would more than likely be streaming from here, same spot here at the Magic Kingdom. And then Friday is up in the air whether we'll stream from maybe Animal Kingdom or if we go back to Epcot. Or we might just do a short stream just to connect with everybody before actually doing some filming for some other upcoming projects that we have. Tomorrow will be a regular video. If you are interested, we do some people watching Wednesday videos where we just set up the camera and we let you guys enjoy what the everyday pass holders like to do. People watching. It's something that I've heard has become a big trend. Something that I've known has been a trend for a very long time, as I used to like people watching myself.
You want to come over here? It's okay, I'm good. You're looking at first.
You know what time it is? Sorry, trying to get my foot from out there. I was trying to move my foot. My foot was caught in the bag. No. Oh, what time is it? What time is it? Oh, okay. All right. So we should be getting some activity here pretty soon. We're about 15 minutes. We're about 15 minutes from the parade actually kicking off. But it is kind of interesting that the Main Street Philharmonic and the Grand Marshal hasn't made its way down yet. If you were here for one of our live streams before, I was trying to get the 12 o'clock parade that did not exist because they had technical difficulties. But one of the key giveaways was the fact that the Grand Marshals did not step off. So hopefully. Oh, speaking of which, I do hear in the distance. Oh, I hear the cast members. So yeah, you guys got a probably better view than I do. Just as I was speaking about it, the Grand Marshals are starting to make their way. I guess the Main Street Philharmonic is coming down first, as I normally said they would. The Grand Marshal should be coming up right behind them. So at this point in time, as the Main Street Philharmonic is coming its way down in front of the castle, the Grand Marshal should be stepping off from Tiana's Bayou Adventure area. I believe there's about a 10 or 15 minute gap in between each. So if Main Street's Philharmonic started off at 2:30, then at 2:45, the Grand Marshal will have stepped off. So that does give you a good indication of how long it does take for the parade to get to certain locations. So basically, from Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the pace that they go, it takes roughly about 10 or 15 minutes to get to Cinderella Castle. And then from there, probably another 10 or 15 minutes to get from Cinderella Castle back to the end of the parade route. And if you think about the length of the parade, basically as the first float passes us here on Main Street, the last float is probably leaving from Tiana's Bayou Adventures area. And as always, as we're preparing for the parade and all the activities, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people to subscribe and check us out on This Time Daily. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified for any and all of our upcoming chaos. And if you enjoy nightcaps, stay tuned as well. Because again, if we get some growing audiences in that as well, I would definitely like to title it as a late night lounge here on This Time.
Oh, I know.
Magic Kingdom proudly presents Main Street Philharmonic.
Oh, yeah. So much we share. Well, such love. It, it will out uh, there is just one moon and one golden sun. There is so much love for everyone. There's so much that we share, but it's time. Well, it's a small world after all. 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 It's a small world.
Maybe the only space you get.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was the Main Street Philharmonic. Seamless transitions that they do, and of course, they are trained professionals. Kind of gives hope to those kids in the marching band that there's always a guaranteed spot for a job here in Disney for everybody's entertainment value. Whatever you can do, there's always something you can do at Disney. Unless you're me and they don't want to work with a blind guy, but hey.
Okay. Let me know if it gets too loud. Okay. Okay.
They do a couple of stop performances as well on Main Street as well.
Yeah.
Just kind of delay the time. Like I said, shortly after that, you should be hearing an announcement here in the next few minutes for the Grand Marshal. They usually announce where they're from, who they are, and what they're celebrating. Hey, once again, if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not.
Thank you. It's all right.
Hit that bell notification. Let us know what you want to see in the future for some of our videos. Like I said, I am going to be away from the comment section for a while as I have removed my headphones as I am currently charging my phone with a fuel rod. Like I said, I think that later tonight, if we do remember, I'm going to finally see if I can find me a Bluetooth Bluetooth headset with a microphone attachment so that I can be more, I'd say, away from the phone for the most part, and that I can keep it charged separately, piece by piece. We're upgrading our equipment and getting somewhat better at the YouTube. Like I said, be on the lookout for some of our regular videos as well. I know that 80% of people that do watch live streamers only watch the live stream portion. But we do want to put out some other videos for occasional walkthroughs. We do have some POVs, but there's only so many times you can do the same POV before getting all the copyright strikes. But we'll try to do more we'll try to do more walkthroughs of various spots, especially for those people that have upcoming vacations. We want to do a little bit more of the views of some of our favorite resorts and some of our not so favorite resorts. Maybe even some commentary involved in there as well. We did get some, I wouldn't say requests, but we did have a good conversation about driving videos. So we'll probably gladly be able to do some driving videos as we do quite a bit of driving around town, especially if it's just driving around Walt Disney World property. Again, one of our things is that as soon as we drop our kids off from school, we immediately drive right into Disney World sometimes. So that's always something to film there. I also wanted to, I'm pretty sure someone's going to steal this one day because that's just how it works. But I want to do a segment on possibly just Tuesdays where I do Transportation Tuesdays, where we just showcase some of the transportation that's in the Walt Disney World Company, especially here at Walt Disney World, whether it be an actual view of riding through Disney Transportation or just a standalone view of what Disney Transportation looks like between the Skyliner, the friendship boats, the ferry boats, the monorails, and of course, the Disney buses. Stay tuned for that. That'll be a nice filler as we try to navigate through the summer vacation with our kids. Maybe in the near future, we can also do some poolside chats. We just have to kind of tend to the pool. I mean, our pool is fine. I would just like to get something better for the pool area for us to sit down and have that conversation with. So stay tuned for that in the, I would say, near distant future. I do believe if it is picking it up, I do hear the Grand Marshal. They're introducing the Grand Marshal as we speak. So as we get closer, they'll make the announcement again.
Sit on the sidewalk. We're going to see all of it.
That's you, right?
Yeah, I love there's more parade coming. Can you sit back?
You're gonna make sure it was you.
Okay.
And I would also like to say, right before the Grand Marshal comes in, kudos to the cast members that are out here working these parade routes. Kudos to the princesses. Kudos to Mickey and his friends that are out on these parade floats in this basking heat.
I know you're excited.
Also, as and I shouldn't have to say this, but just keep in mind that when you are watching a parade, please stay seated on the curb. Do not interfere with the parade at all. I heard a commotion that happened at a Paint the Night performance where a guest actually jumped onto a float onto the parade. That I would say is a big no-no. I actually have heard stories of people that have been accidentally ran over by floats. So please keep in mind that even though it is a magical place, it does have its dangers, and cast members are only trying to do what's best for your safety.
Welcome, one and all, to the Magic Kingdom. In just a few minutes, we will proudly present an enchanting celebration in the streets, our Disney Festival of Fantasy Parade. And now, please welcome our honorary Grand Marshals, celebrating Nora's birthday, the Hobbs and Lever family.
Oh, it's a prayer. Oh.
Sorry.
That's that. Oh, please. But if you want your headphones out, listen.
All right. That was the Grand Marshals in the specially customized vehicle to fit large families as they welcome the start of the Festival Family Parade here at the Magic Kingdom. We're live here on Main Street, USA. It's going to be a nice 84 degrees is the high today, a low of about 64, I think it was. Like I said, we are staking our claim for the 3 o'clock Festival Fantasy Parade, which should be kicking off from Frontierland already. Should be making its way around here in the next 10 minutes or so. And then promptly after that, we will be winding out the live stream as we will have to go pick up our kids. So I'd like to thank everyone that tuned into today's video. And hopefully everyone else is going to give it a like and a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully they're not all the same people. Share it on social media. The easiest thing and the freest thing to do is to like this video. I think the only thing that would get in the way right now would be if our technology took a tumble. But like I said, right now I've got the phone plugged into a fuel rod. The gimbal does pretty good by itself as long as it's not trying to charge the phone, which we learned the other day. That the phone actually sucks the life out of the fuel rods and sucks the life out of the gimbal battery.
Just doing the parade, make sure to remain seated at all times. If you want to stay home, make sure you stand up onto the sidewalk. If you need to cross at the end of the parade, just make sure to wait until the last people coming down. You're gonna see some cast members holding a blue road right behind the Mickey float. Let them pass you by until you can be able to cross, okay? Thank you, folks.
And of course, it wouldn't be a streaming if you didn't hear a baby screaming. And of course, as I always say, if your children aren't screaming at the end of your Disney vacation, you didn't spend enough money. And kids, if your parents aren't crying after the end of a Disney vacation, then they didn't spend too much money either. Remember, only at Disney World does it take a third mortgage and a reverse mortgage in order to enjoy 1 week at the most magical place on earth.
I don't think you drink these songs. Oh, no, go ahead. The whole type. Like, yes. I was only like, nice. Everybody's waiting for the train, and it's very soon. Yeah, right. I go back to yeah, but God, trying to I'm not. I have not one. I like. Yeah, which is good.
All right. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who has been tuning in as we are still waiting for the Festival of Fantasy Parade, which is, as you can hear in the background, it is kicking off, coming down, starting to come down Main Street USA here in just a few moments. This music is pretty much prompting it as it's still making its way through Liberty Square. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who has tuned into today's video, sitting right here on Main Street USA for the entire time. If you're new here and if you have not already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Hit that bell notification for any and all the ensuing chaos that we have, or if you just like to have live looks around Walt Disney World. This music will probably be on a loop for the next 5 to 6 minutes before the floats actually activate the next loop to play. Each one of the floats does have some connectivity to the soundtrack, so it's not until the float passes you that you do get the next theming of music surrounding that float.
Never know. Yeah.
And I don't know how much truth there is to this nowadays, but back in the day, this was like the best time to sneak on some of those attractions, especially some of the attractions that were right along the parade route. So if you've ever noticed the wait times for instance, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder Mountain back in the day, those wait times would go down because they're right there on the parade route. So many people who will start waiting for the parade about 2:30 or so makes the wait times go down. When I worked at Pirates of the Caribbean back in 2014, 15, and 16, that was a slow season, a slow time for Pirates and Mansion. Kind of works that way too because even though Adventureland is not on the parade route, it is right next to the parade route, just on the other side of some buildings. So there's a good chance that Pirates of the Caribbean, the Aladdin's Magic Carpets, and even the Jungle Cruise might have a low wait time. So if you've already seen the parade, take advantage of that. Keep an eye on the wait times whenever there is a large entertainment option readily available. Sometimes some of the best times to get on attractions at Hollywood Studios on certain days is whenever Indiana Jones is having a show, because Indiana Jones is a large people eater. Even though there's not that many attractions that are located super close to the Tower of Terror or to Indiana Jones show, Hollywood Studios isn't a very big park, so it might make a huge difference. Not saying it'll be a walk on for any of those major attractions, but you might see attractions like the Tower of Terror, Toy Story Mania, um, even even Alien Swirl and Saucer. Sometimes even Millennium Falcon gets some lower wait times when those shows are taking place. And of course, if you already have watched a lot of the nighttime activities, for instance, the fireworks here at the Magic Kingdom, if you've seen them a million times over, sometimes that's also a good time to actually sneak on some attractions as well if you're here late that night. There's been a couple times we've actually back in the day when we did run with that crowd. You can see Seven Doors Mine Train with as low as a 25, 30-minute wait when there is a fireworks going on. And that's actually sometimes some of the best shots is when you get that right time to get on it and the fireworks are going off in the distance. We've actually been on several attractions as the fireworks go off. As I can clearly hear, we're going to be getting the announcement as the parade starts to enter our area. I do hear the transition to the Rapunzel float, so that means that the floats are definitely coming onto Main Street. So should be getting the announcement here any second now, as you'll hear the music overtake. And as the parade goes by, just make sure that you're liking and subscribing to the channel. We've got about one more week that we will be showing you this parade. We have I believe if we're going to be here on Thursday, we'll definitely be showcasing on Thursday. And then we have Tuesday and Thursday of next week. And then that'll be it for us as far as Festival of Fantasy viewing goes. And that is the cue. So once again, enjoy the Festival of Fantasy Parade. We'll be streaming just a little bit after that. And then we will be calling it a day, and we will see you on Thursday.
Hear ye, hear ye, loyal guests from near and far. Welcome to the Magic Kingdom. You are all warmly invited to join Mickey Mouse and his Fantasyland friends. A magical celebration in the streets. Dreams will come true, hearts will soar, and you will become a part of the magic. For the time has come to take your places and prepare to welcome the wondrous and wonderful Disney. See, it's better than any team they got. Yeah.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone that tuned in for today's live stream here on Main Street USA. We just filmed the Festival of Fantasy Parade, the 3 o'clock parade, live here on Main Street on a Tuesday afternoon. As I said before, it was going to be a high of 84 degrees today. The breeze kept the temperature at bay, so it did feel very, very good. I'd like to thank everyone that tuned in today, everyone that was inside the chat, and everybody that supports the channel in every which way possible. And of course, the easiest way and the freest way of doing it is liking and subscribing, hitting that bell notification so you can be updated to all of our chaos. As I said, we will be off tomorrow as it is our son's birthday. We're going to be over in Epic Universe for the first time. But stay tuned for Thursday where we'll be right here at Magic Kingdom here on Main Street, possibly catching the 3 o'clock parade one more time. And then we're up in the air for Friday, but we do plan on streaming or giving you something on Friday. As I said, also tomorrow, even though we will not be going live, we will have a video out. It'll just be a people watching video for those people that just like to have that simple thing playing in the background where you just watch people do what they do throughout the day. Let us know also if you are a fan of those types of videos. Let us know if you want to see them go a little bit longer as well. I think most of our videos are about 10 or 15 minutes, but we don't mind providing you with longer content. As you can tell from what I've been doing today, streaming here on Main Street USA for a couple hours, staying in one spot. I can also do that with any other content. And also stay tuned because we do want to do some walkthroughs from various other parts of Walt Disney World with or without commentary. We do want to take some people on some adventures around some of the Walt Disney World resorts and letting you know if you ever want to know what the layout is for those resorts. Let us know. We'll definitely film it, put it out there, and keep an eye out for any other future content that I do want to do in obviously the future. And as the parade music is winding down, I'd like to once again thank everyone who shows their appreciation, that shows it day in and day out for all the chaos that we have. We had a seamless live stream today, even though I did have to leave the chat to keep keep the phone charged. Anything you want to add?
No.
Nope.
Sorry, I was reading.
Oh, sorry. All right. So with that being said, time is up. The music has ended for us on this part. We're going to let the crowds disperse. And then I'll just leave you by saying this. We will see you next time on This Time. Keep the positivity up, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll just let the crowd take you out. And we will see you on Thursday. He's gonna bang this.
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine.
Yeah, I have it. I don't know what I've